Today on the Tim Marner Podcast Show, we've got our Gary and our Dave from FitAsylum. Gary, what is FitAsylum? How do you explain what FitAsylum is to people?
FitAsylum. FitAsylum's, we deliver personal trainer courses, we deliver sports massage courses, government funded training. That's what it is, but it didn't obviously start with FitAsylum. It started with FLM training until we met you, yeah.
When did you and Dave meet?
When did we meet? Oh God.
12, 13 years ago?
I bet it's longer than that.
Not longer.
Yeah, about 15, 16 years ago.
Where's the married couple?
Yeah. I bet it's more like about 16 years ago.
Is it?
At another training company, that's where we met. And then...
when did you both have that thing of going into business together? When was the...
I think that was forced upon us, really, weren't it?
It was, yeah.
It was.
What do you mean?
Well, the company that we worked for, the owner had died. The owner had passed away and things had gone wrong, and government funded, like we are now, and they come in and said, you're not doing what you should be doing. And the company closed down. Yeah. And me and Dave got our heads together and thought, right, well, you know, we've got all this knowledge. I work more on the funding side of things, where he worked more on the training side of things. And we thought, set up our own training company. We've been doing it for years for other people. We'll just set up our own training company. Yeah. And that's what happened. So that's where FLM training started. So it was because we'd worked together. He had a certain skill set, I had a certain skill set. And we needed both for make it work. So, yeah.
What were you doing all your triathlons back? You're still doing triathlons now, aren't you?
No, not now. I was then. I was doing a lot of triathlons, a lot of training then, a lot of cycling.
So that's your background then, doing the training side,
yeah,
coaching the coaches.
Yeah, right through. I think since I was a kid, swimming for England, joined the army, PTI with the army, PTI with the police.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been all the way through. Gary had more of the business acumen side of it, the finance and all that side of it, and the funding. So when we got together, it worked well because I had the connections with customers. Gary had all the background in finance and funding and how to get funding, so it worked really well.
How did you know it was going to work well? Did you from the off knew that you're both going to work well together? Because me and Lee kind of just like fucking chalk and cheese, me and him, like, and we just let people go.
We are a bit.
We are.
You're going to take that risk.
Yeah. We don't agree with one another all the time. quite often we don't. Yeah. But yeah, we sort of like find the middle ground, and yeah. So
what's been the hardest thing for you both since like going on 16 years in business together, man? That's massive, isn't it? I can't. Not many people last that long, do they?
No. Well, we've known one another for 16 years, but it's been over 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're coming up to 11 years now. We're in our 11th year of being in business together. I suppose the hardest thing is change, isn't it? Things change, nothing ever stays the same, especially with government funding. They move the goalposts all the time, so you've got to adapt, you've got to change what you're doing, your delivery model's got to change. But I suppose the biggest change that we've had is FitAsylum.
Yeah.
Going from FLM training, which is still going, FLM training, but FitAsylum has been fantastic for us, hasn't it?
Why did you both sort of like feel that you needed the rebrand at the time? What was your... You got to a plateau where you're thinking, oh, we need to do something? What was your...
No, I think because FLM's predominantly apprenticeships, working with councils and trusts, and we were delivering predominantly leisure type qualifications.
Yeah.
And then we started with a very small contract to deliver courses funded. It was a very small contract that we started off with, and that made us realise that we needed a separation for the commercial branch of the business away from the apprenticeship side. So I think that was the key thing. As we started working with it, we had some good guys working with us that come up with ideas and that, and we realised that FitAsylum needs to be unique, and obviously you guys come up with that, and I must admit I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I think we only come in for a logo.
Yeah, we come in for a logo.
That's how I get you. That's how I fucking get you,
Yeah, I remember coming down here and meeting with yourself and Lee, and I don't know if Gaz was in the first meeting.
I don't know if he was in the first, I think he was in the second one.
Yeah, I think he was in the second one, so I think it was just you and Lee, and you asked us about what we wanted to achieve, and we were saying, well, our logo's getting a bit tired, perhaps the website's getting a bit tired, and you know, perhaps a new logo, a new website. I think that's what I come in, and then I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later we come back and it was like FitAsylum, and you showed us the brand, and it just blew us away. It blew us away.
How long ago was that?
That was 2000. It was like early 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, but
mad, that, innit?
Yeah. Well, that was, like Dave said, that was, I don't know, a tenth of our business.
Yeah, if that, yeah.
It's over 90% of our business now.
What's been the change?
I think getting out there, I think the brand's helped,
Yeah.
the website's helped, and FitAsylum sticks in people's heads. But I also think how we do things, that we're different. We're talking from experience and background. We're not just set up a business and we're people in charge of a business and like, go and do that. We've been there, we've taught for other organisations. We've learnt from all that. And for me, it was about having a brand, and Gary's very supportive in terms of that get rid of the crap. There's loads of crap out there, loads of absolute crap being delivered. Let's do it properly. Let's get a qualification right across the board for people that can get out there, but not just a qualification, everything else that goes around it.
What's everything else that goes around it, Dave? What is that for people?
Yeah,
just so people can understand. It's
Yeah.
important, this, to me.
Well, it is to us, and it's part of why Gary's been very good with the social media side of it, getting out there, because I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to that, to be honest.
True that.
Yeah, it is. But it's about how to set up your business. It's about what's it like being a BT. It's about explaining it's not easy, that you've got to go through these times to get there. And even when it's rough, and it's about making contacts, it's about selling yourself.
Relationships, connection,
partnerships,
yeah.
and understanding that people buy people, and getting them to understand that, and getting them to find their niche and understand that not everyone has to be the same. We've all got different skill sets, different ways of communication, different backgrounds. Mine might be triathlon, someone else would be weight training, someone else might be nutrition, but you get all the skills together.
How do you train somebody like that? Because there's so many different modalities and stuff. How do you, with the FitAsylum Academy, is this how you teach them?
That's part of what we've done now, because with the guys we've got, with Harry and Deck and a few of the others, they put together this FitAsylum Academy, which gives them the next step on. So we don't just say, there's your course certificate, well done, off you go. We say to them, listen, try a month free. I'll tell you how to set your Instagram up. I'll tell you about how to get to the website, how to register yourself on Google, how to use WhatsApp properly, how to use all these things properly. But then it's also about, this is your business plan, what's your strategy, where you're going. So it's all that side of it. But also, especially with Deck, you've got the mentorship where he'll call you, you'll have a chat, you talk things through, he'll guide you. Because all our tutors, all of them, have got vast experience in being personal trainers, owning gyms. So they've been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
But if you want to set up your own business,
So they've done all the slips, the trips. They guide you. I'm not saying you're going to slip and trip, but they can move you away from a lot of the potholes that a lot of people fall in. So I think it's those guys, Harry and Deck, Nathan, Jazz, all those people, these tutors, with vast experience have really built us up.
I think that, you saying what's the main thing, what makes, you've got the brand, obviously FitAsylum, it's a fantastic brand, it's just never tired, has it? It's really on point. I know we've just had a new website, a bit of a redesign of the website, but the actual brand is fantastic. Yeah. But you can have the brand, you need the people behind the brand who buy into the brand, and our staff they're the best. Yeah. We're always like, well, we want top staff working with us, because they're the face of the company, really. They're the ones who the tutors, they're the ones who the learners are with all the time, and they're working with, and you want them staff to buy into what we're trying to achieve.
How do you two do that? How do you create that culture?
I think it's knowing. I know people say you shouldn't. A lot of it's gut feeling. When you get to meet someone, what's their passion? Yeah. When you're talking to somebody, it comes across to me. You can see, they can sit down and give me all the stock answers, fantastic. And I'm a bit of a pain in interviews, because I sit in on interviews and I really tell you, and I always say, okay, that's all fantastic, you give me all the stock answers, now cut all the crap, tell me why you are different. Why have we got to take you? What are you going to give us? Because we've got all that. We've got people who can deliver with qualifications and done all that. Why? And they're the people that can stand up and come back at you.
And what things do they come back at you? What's the stuff that you hear, Dave, that sort of inspires you, that people say to you, the reason they want to become a personal trainer?
I think the first thing is that they're happy to go head to head with me in an interview under pressure and say, well, actually, I can make you better. I can see what you've got now and I can give you more, I can give you this. And it's people that give me that. In a recent interview with a younger member, and I was quite concerned, thinking, 22, 23.
He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, so I said, what are you going to do for an old fart like me?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give you a stick now, saying, what do you know? How can you teach me? And to give that tutor credit comes straight back at me. I know what I'm doing. I've got a business. I'm successful. If you want to go further, listen. And that took me back. So it's that type of person. And I think Harry, who runs all our operations now, this is originally when we were involved in the interviews, but Harry does it all now. And he's very good at picking people that blend in as a team. Yeah. So every one of our team is very, very different. All got really good strengths, all really good skills. And if you listen to them all, they'll bat off each other. Yeah.
I think the other thing as well is letting people work to their strengths and letting them find.
I was going to say, how do you two? Because obviously you two like to manage, don't you? How do you let go of that and let people become?
Because people are better than us at certain things.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're better than us. So
you're all right saying that.
Yeah, 100%. And you've got to see that, and you've got to say, and you. I mean, even with Harry like runs a lot of what we do, and I met Harry on a massage table having my back put into, and he started asking me what I was doing, and he was telling me what he did, and I come out of the massage and I said, go and see this fella and get a massage off it, because he'd be great working for FLM training. Yeah. And then when he went, he'd obviously had me on the massage table, Harry, and thought, I want to go and work for that company. I'd love go and work for them.
Because you like what you were about.
Yeah, well, when he'd met me, and then he went for the massage, and Harry then started, got on to him about, how do I, get into this? And the next thing, he started as a tutor with us, and he's developed himself, gone and done his masters in, in business, and, and he's developed himself, and he runs a lot of the stuff now. But that's what we've done. We've taken people who we know will fit in with our team. They'll add something additional to our team, and then we've let them build on their passion. So we've got people who, are really keen in helping people with special educational needs and, additional support. We've got someone who's passionate about doing that, and he's developed all sorts of resources to help people. We've got other people who are passionate about social media and, and the face of, so you do there that. What do you need? And that's all we are, facilitators for our staff to go and do their thing.
That's incredible, isn't it?
We're lucky, as what we're saying, and I think in all business people will tell you you're only as good as the people around you.
Yeah.
And we've got great people.
But you've got to attract those great people, and you've got to keep those great people.
But it's by what you being on the massage table, being yourself, you're putting out that frequency that you've attracted Harry, because he's on the same values as you, and that sort of hard working is a thing that I'm sort of like tussling with it at the minute. Just like people don't know what fucking hard work is. People are a lot of self-titled, kind of the world owes me a living, like wanting, to earn something in life takes fucking hard work. It's a very lonely place and stuff.
It is. And our staff, in some instances, because a lot of them work remote, aren't they?
Yeah.
But we do try and, we do have regular things, regular kits. So although they might be working remote, they all come together at regular times and social events, and we do try and keep them, as a team, although they're working, they know they're a cog in a big, in a bigger machine, and they know where they fit in.
How does the government funding work then, and how hard is that to actually create that? A lot of red tape.
A lot of red tape to get it.
Yeah.
A lot of bids to write to get it. But once you've got it then. And the actual access for students to get that funding to come on one of our courses is simple.
So
They can be funded
tell me that. Give me an example. Someone wants to be a personal trainer. How do they get access to that funding through FitAsylum?
So someone wants to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
They go onto the website, they fill out a booking form, saying, I want to be a personal trainer, I want to go on this course on these dates, and I want to use government funding. We send them a funding letter with a code on. They go onto the government website, they put the dates of the course, they put FitAsylum in, and they put the code in what we give them, and 48 hours it'll say, yeah, you've been approved for the funding. We then, on their start date, we approve that they've started with us. They've come on the course, they've started. 2 weeks later, they're still in learning with us, and then we draw that funding down over the length of that course. So if that course is a 6-month course, we pull the funding down over a 6-month period. And then they only start paying it back then the following April, and only if they're earning over a certain amount of money. If they're not earning that, or they're not declaring that, they don't pay it. It's just the same way of going to university, being a doctor, a teacher, whatever it might be. It's exactly the same funding. It's student Finance England, 48 hours, and they're approved.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they can be a personal trainer or a sports massage therapist or exercise referral. So yeah, whatever they want to go and do. But like Dave was saying, at the beginning, once they've got that, it's not, that's just a certificate.
That's just the start of it,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's the next thing then. It's how they get clients. It's how they promote their business and what they should be doing. And that's where we help them through the FitAsylum Academy.
And how much is the FitAsylum Academy for people to sign up to get those resources to actually develop their own business and stuff like? Are there different packages? What's the?
Yeah, I mean, it's free for a month, and they can go on there and they can read all the stuff, and they can do as much training as they want while they're on the. If they want to then have a personal mentor, business mentor, specific to
which I recommend to everybody to have.
Personal trainer, it's £30 a month. They can stop it whenever they want.
That's insane.
But they can pick someone up and saying, what should I do about this? What's your advice on that? Or where can I find this information out? And it's there for them, and they've got someone they can call and liaise with.
Where did the apprentices sort of side start of it then, with that FLM training? Because you're doing the apprenticeship side. Is that totally gone now?
No, we still do it.
Yeah,
we still do the apprenticeships. A mix now in terms of sports qualifications.
How does that work, Dave? How does it?
We have partnerships with several big councils in the Northwest, and they identify training for young people to bring them in, generally between 16 and 20, maybe one or two a little bit older, but generally, because even that's changed massively, is part of the reason why we had to branch out and do different FitAsylum. So that they take apprentices on, they interview them, and then we join in that interview process with them to make sure they're suitable for programme. Then we work with them over up to a 2-year programme, really, by the time the assessment's been done and everything else. And they get all the qualifications. They'll get the gym instructor, swim teacher, lifeguard, first aid qualifications. So what they get at the end of that is a group of people that are highly employable. Because everywhere we go, they want swim teachers, they want lifeguards, they want gym instructors. And these apprentices, predominantly the sports side, get all those qualifications on one course.
It's great for the right person, because it's earned while you learn, because they're getting an apprenticeship salary. Well, they usually get more than the apprenticeship rate, because they're all
really good skills,
and they're getting all the qualifications while they go, and they're getting experience along with it. And then they come out to the other end 18 months later, and they've got all these qualifications, what all the gyms and leisure centres are looking for. And they have to do, like Dave said, they've got to do pool lifeguard, they've got to do swim teacher, they've got to do gym. And you'll find some who, like we were saying before, will gravitate towards the gym. Yeah. And they might come back and saying, can I do my personal trainer course with you? And then you've got others who are doing pool lifeguard and they want to, swim teacher, and they want to develop that side of of their skill set, because, but with the leisure trusts and councils, they want multi-skilled staff. That's why the apprenticeship incorporates all of those courses, qualifications.
When you two first started, right, How have you seen the fitness industry change? What's the biggest thing that you've seen the fitness industry change since you've been doing this?
I'm going to say something what you always tell me. It doesn't, it just goes round in a circle.
What do you mean by that?
I've been teaching now for 40 years, and people come to, oh, we're doing this now, this is new, and I go, I've done that 15 years ago. So, for example, when I first started teaching the personal training course, there used to be nutrition part of it, and there used to be strength and conditioning part of it, all these things. And then this Bindle had them separate courses, used on the personal training, used on as additions. Then recently, let's tell you what, let's put in all these bits again, which is great because you're a more rounded PT.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. But I think in terms of the way the industry is changing, there is a change, social media, because there's a lot of good stuff out there,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of misinformation,
Yeah.
and a lot of people going on fear, which is frightening, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I think the other good thing now is it's more accountable in terms of it's becoming more professional. There's more links now with the health sector, where they're recognising that mental health can be dealt with through fitness and exercise prescribed rather than medication. So I think in terms of that, and I think because of social media and everything else, even though I'm a dinosaur, I do recognise that knowledge is higher. So when people are coming on qualifications, generally their knowledge is higher because they've seen stuff, they've read stuff, and there's eons of information out there. It's just picking the right bits and having that guidance to say, look, think it through, read it, where's the background from it, what's backing that information up, rather than just an individual screaming on me.
Do you not think, because you train, do you not think though sometimes, like some of this stuff on social media, it's like, do this 21-day like burpees and you'll have a six-pack? It's bullshit. Yeah. You know, there's loads of stuff like that, and that's not the content we'd ever want to be.
Because like us three, obviously we're at a certain age and we know we've got the common sense. Like, but like, you know, I'm scared for the kids coming up and they see that and they think that that's the truth.
Yeah.
Where I can see for it is. It's a marketing ploy. It's whatever. But I'm just scared for the kids who haven't been through life a little bit and don't understand that.
You know,
that's why it's so good. You know, obviously you've got to amplify FitAsylum's social media a bit more because we've got to drown out the noise. There's a lot of noise out there. You know, what Deck's doing and how he's doing it's really good, but I just need more of it.
Yeah.
You know, the information is so valuable, what you two are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've just started the Workout With series, haven't we? On the back of, you know, your advice and when we come and see you, when did we come and see you about the new website? A couple of months ago, a few months ago, and you were saying, you know, you was explaining about, you know, what you need to show is the impact. Yeah. Yeah.
It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. And so that's what we've started to try and do now with some of our social media. You know, we've got students who've perhaps, you know, been a stay-at-home mum and kids have grown up a bit more. She's got a bit more time and she wants to follow a passion, which has been like teaching PT, and, you know, now she's doing it and
Powerful,
getting out and seeing them and saying, well, how's it going? What benefited you? What are the pitfalls? What went wrong? What went right? And, you know, so anybody can see, if you've got a passion for it, just go and do it. You know, with anybody, with any training company, but don't just sit there and years down the line thinking, I should have done that. Yeah, it's just, if you've got a passion for it, go and do it. And like with the government funding now, they don't even have to outlay anything. You know, it's there. You know, they can fund it through the government, you know, the government's advanced learner loan, the student loans, and that's it. Go and follow your dream.
What's one of these stories that stuck out for you, both of you, the most?
I think when you come to do the photo shoot, there was a lad on the course there who I taught 7 years ago, and halfway through that course he come to me, just yellow stumps his teeth, drawn, lost a lot of weight, crying, saying, I can't do this, can't do it, I'm going. So he said, look, get it, go away, we're here anytime you want to come back. Now, it was only when you were doing the shoot, I walked out and I went, all right, Dave, and I went, could not recognise him. He absolutely transformed himself, and he'd come back and he'd completed the course.
Is it Michael? What's he called, the lad?
I can't remember his first name.
Yeah.
Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, unrecognisable. I just sat down and chatted to him and listened to his journey from drug abuse, being kicked out of his home, being homeless, and he'd been like that for years, and he picked himself up. He's now a successful PT, passed the qualification, looks absolutely fantastic. So I think when you get people like that, and a very similar example I would do, because I quite often call up to say, when I hear a good story, I'll phone up and say, how was the course for you? And there was one guy from Hull who was homeless on the streets, drug addict. He went into a gym and he said to the guy, I'd love to train in that. And this guy knew that he was an addict, and he said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you it free if you promise to turn yourself around. And he contacted us about 4 weeks after that to do his course through the funding. And he is now, again, a successful PT. So because a good gym manager has seen this guy and has given the opportunity, come to us. And when you speak to these guys, you just think, how have they done it? How have they made that switch from laying on the street, taking drugs, drinking, to now being in a stable relationship with a business, helping other people? And what's great about these guys is they're not scared to share it.
Yeah.
They say, listen. And I find that inspirational. So, it's like when I met Danny, I just thought, it got me emotional to think, wow, that guy did come back. It did progress. And when you see people like that, you just say to other people, look, it's achievable. What I will say is not everyone can be a PT. You've got to be the right type of person if you want to be successful at being a PT. I can be a PT. You might be able to say it, but when you've done the course, it's like you were saying, we give them the course. The way we look at it is, once you pass the course, you've passed an assessment. Now go and learn to be a PT. Use the academy, use Deck, use Jazz, use Nathan. Pick their brains. And the other part of that is that all these people I'm talking about are all in a WhatsApp group that after the programme, batting ideas off each other. I've just come across this, what do you do? I've got this problem, how do you deal with it? And even passing clients on to each other, thinking, it's not in my remit, it's not my skill set.
Love that shit, mate.
Can you help?
Love that.
And they're taking on. And I think that's, in terms of the academy, that's one of the big growth areas that, yes, they've got the phone calls, they've got the support, but they've got this WhatsApp group, so they're all batting off each other. And I think that is massive.
Yeah.
Because they're not alone, I just have this problem.
I mean, that's it, mate. And it's just like, you feel, it's so hard and you feel so lonely at times. You feel like you're on your own. To know that other people are going through the same thing as you, what a powerful feeling that is. I'm not in this on my own.
Yeah.
That's what FitAsylum's about for me.
Yeah.
It's a madhouse. It's everybody's just like mad about fitness, and that's kind of what we created. And it's like, I love it. I love everything that you both created. But the culture has definitely come from you two, the way that you two are.
Yeah,
I know you don't
having the right people round us, that's important. Like yourself.
Yeah.
It's having the right people round us, surrounding you by the right people, employing the right people, getting the services of the right people, and then you that's what breeds success. But training, exercise, fitness is powerful.
What is that success? What is success to you two? What does that mean? What does that look like?
I think when the staff are happy and they want to come to work and they're happy with what they're doing, and then you see the other end, you see the likes of Danny, the impact. That's what you measure success with, impact.
We've been through adversity. We've had some really rough times where we think, geez, how am I going to get out of this? How do we turn this round? And we turned it round. And then, because the way we think is, we're not worrying. I know this sounds thing. I'm worried about, God, these people rely on us. They've got houses, families, and it is a family. And I think if you speak to any of the team, they'll say it's like a family. We're involved with the kids. Like we have a Christmas breakfast, and they come along with the kids, and everyone gets a selection box and a breakfast, and we get to meet the family. Aren't we? I just think we understand. I'm a father, you're a father. We've got families. You understand.
Yeah.
Their needs, and I trust every one of my staff. Gary does. I trust Gary trusts me, and I think that's what I think we get that payback because of that, because we say, right, what are you doing today? Oh, I've got a doctor's appointment. Don't tell us, just make up the time as and when.
Yeah.
And we're not saying you work 9 to 5. If you've got to go and do something with your family, go and do it. But as long as you make the time up and the work's done, and it happens.
Yeah, there's nobody clock watches at FitAsylum. You've got lives to lead as well. You've got a responsibility to your students, and the staff. They know that they've got a responsibility to the cohort of students, and they want to see, because they're buzzing, aren't they, when they come in, and such ones pass. We had one this morning in the office, and he come down to the office to find out what it was, because he'd got an assessment, so he'd come a few days before so he knew how to get there, what bus and all that sort of stuff.
I already like the person.
Yeah. So he'd come,
that's old school, that, isn't it? That's proper, that.
He'd come, and then the gym where he was going to was around the corner from the office, and he must thought, well, I'll come down, I'll come and see if I can meet the staff. So reception said,
this person?
someone's here to see someone from FitAsylum, Gary. So I went out and made him a brew and went and had a coffee together and asked him his story, and he told us, and he'd struggled, he really struggled. Anyway, there's a social media post from a local gym with his thing, meet our new personal trainer, and it's
All right.
yeah.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
that was fantastic, and it's things like that. And but the admin staff who don't go out and thing it, but they know all the students because they're talking to them all the time, and they were absolutely buzzing about it this morning. Vicky and Sinead, about this lad who they've spoke to loads, and giving him loads of help, and sending him all the information. And perhaps they had to do it a little bit more, but they were absolutely buzzing that he'd they've seen his face on a social media post now for a training company saying, meet our new PT.
Good man,
yeah, it's stuff like that. That's great. That's what you do
How
it
often
for.
do you two do kind of this thing, not podcast, but where you sit and you actually have a look at the moments that you've both kind of have been part of?
Not a lot. No, we don't. They're like snippets like that.
Yeah.
Actual thing this morning, I was made up. And
Yeah.
It was nice to see all the other staff in the office talking about it, and they were made up, and it's great. But no, we don't. We do it more as a process, really. So we've got to phone. We phone students after they've been on. After they've ended at 3 months, and then at 6 months, saying, "What are you getting up to now?" And some of these, when we do phone them, some of them will say, "Yeah, I've got a job," and I'm thinking, and they don't want to really, and then others really want to tell you the story, and they're the ones where Dave will say, "Can I do a case study on for you?" Or, and things like that. So we do get to hear about it, but it's usually through the staff. Because them students get a relationship with the trainers, not with me and Dave who sit in the office. That's where the relationship is. So we usually get it fed back in team meetings and things like that, where the staff give us updates about different students and, how successful they're being. So...
It's powerful, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it
I
is.
just wondered if you two actually take it on board and actually sit there and actually think about it. Because it's so hard sometimes, because you're running a business, you want to... What's the next thing? What's the next thing to actually kind of go, whoa, wait a minute, let's just
sit back.
Let's just appreciate this story right now.
Yeah.
And let it hit home.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think this is the first time we've talked about it.
Yeah, probably not.
Mad,
You're not looked at it in that.
Yeah, we've had the odd chat about things like that.
Yeah.
When you think like that, no, we've not. I haven't.
Yeah.
We analyse it on graphs.
Yeah.
How many people have been successful? How many people have, got jobs? How many people have had pay rises? And we have loads of stats and data and graphs, and we have the information, but we perhaps don't sit there enough and look at the real impact.
Yeah.
And the story behind the data. If you know what I mean, we've got the data.
The story behind
the story behind it.
Which is really what you two are about, aren't you?
Mm.
I know it's hard, isn't it? Because you're running a business, you don't want to take a moment to take your foot off the brake because you think someone will get past you. So you're like, no, yeah, cool, right, sound, let's move on and not take that thing. But I wondered what it was like, because I'm kind of the same. I really try at the moment to stop and just kind of appreciate the impact that we've made on someone's life, someone's business.
Yeah, it had a massive impact on ours. you know, from
Appreciate both of you.
massive impact. Because, like, you know, we were FLM training and we come at, you know, and FLM training still does its apprenticeship, but FitAsylum, like I said, it was 10% of the company.
It took us to a totally different level, didn't it? Because because we were apprehensive because we'd obviously spoke to a few people.
Yeah, I could see so much more than personal training and doing what you're doing. I was more focused on the impact that you both were having, and FitAsylum is so much more than fitness.
Yeah,
so much more.
I think that's what we're just trying to show now with our social media. But you've seen on our, we're just starting. You know, like the podcast, you know, workout with. We're just starting to get better at that now, to a point where we can actually show these stories, what we're talking about, show other people the impact, show the stories. So we just, that's new to us, that showing. We know the impact, but not everybody else knows the impact. So I think that's the focus over the next 12 months is make sure that people understand what the impact is. And we all know fitness, exercise improves mental health, but it can also be used, you know, them that have got the passion, they can turn that passion into a job if they want.
Yeah, I think you said it very early on, Tim. It's about telling people why you're different. Yeah. What is it you do? Yeah, and I think that just reflecting now from the conversation we're having is that we care. We care about whether they're a good personal trainer. We care whether they've got the right skills when they've finished the course, not just while on the course. We've always said we don't want to be a sausage factory. No. Because you can churn people up, boom, 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 great. Well, what's happened to them? How have they got on? Yeah. Are they working? Yeah. We know that a high percentage of our learners end up in employment or self-employed. Yeah. And another big driver we've got is through all our funded training, we're Ofsteded. So we have to jump through massive hoops to meet that criteria in terms of the quality and everything else. So that helps drive us as well, keeps us on our toes. Yeah. So we can't just turn people out, that's a quick qualification. Yeah. It's got to be done right, and it is done right. So for me, say I've been in the industry for a long time, I've worked for organisations that do the sausage factory method, teach, boom, gone, next one, boom, teach, gone, boom. Yeah, not like where you're going now, right, which sport do you need? How can we help you? Yeah, speak to our guys. Yeah. I think like you said before, I think our key strength is the team. Yeah.
Yeah, every year we've got to go through quality audit, what we do, looking at all our resources. We've got to go through a financial audit, looking at all the finances. It's all got to be open because it's government funded. All the finances are done right, and you know, as a company we're financially secure. You know, we're not going to go bust on someone or something like that. So we've got our financial stability, our quality, and technical as well. They're tested every year to look at that, to make sure, you know, we're able to do what we say we can do. So,
it's a different level working through Ofsted. Yeah, you've got the awarding bodies and you work to a certain level for them, but with Ofsted you've got to go the extra mile. You've got to put extra stuff in, and the good thing for us is we're already doing it.
They push you more, don't they?
Yeah, they push you more.
Push you more.
How can you do it better? How can you get these people engaged better? So all these things push us more.
Yeah.
Are you proud of yourselves of what you created and what you've done? Looks like I'm asking a question you probably not thought about, but
I actually,
it's stuff I'm really interested in. This.
If I'm out, even if you go away somewhere, so what do you do? And I say, oh yeah, I'm a quality manager. And then I don't think I don't know, I'm saying it's crazy. I don't see it as my business. Yeah. I see it as a group of people all working together. So I don't sort of say, oh, I've got a business. I don't. I never have done. Or sometimes I'll just say I'm a tutor. All right, okay. Because
I'm going to tell you, I've not told you this before. When I was on the flight earlier this year on my way over to Spain.
Which holiday is this?
Going over to Spain. This was earlier in the year. Yeah. And I'd gone to the front and I had my t-shirt on, FitAsylum t-shirt. Someone come over and tapped me on the shoulder and he said, did you do your course with FitAsylum, or did you work there? And I said, oh, I work there. And he said, I did my course, he said, I'm a PT now. And I was on a flight over to Spain. I was like, fantastic. So he was telling me all about, he was on about, you know, he was saying how good one of our
Did you say that
Futures
you said that you owned it?
No.
You told him that you just worked there,
Yeah.
so he give you
Worked
the
in
proper.
The office. Yeah, I worked in the office. Yeah.
Why didn't you say that you owned it?
I don't know.
I feel like I've got imposter syndrome sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To me,
I
look
don't want
around
to.
and think, is
I
this
don't
really
want to.
happening? Is this really mine?
Yeah.
Is this ours?
Yeah.
Have we done this? I don't believe it.
Even though you've been going 16 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like,
Mint that, innit?
Yeah.
I love that, mate.
yeah, it's just like,
Keeps you humble, doesn't it? Keeps you hungry.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be. I think once you stop being humble,
Yeah,
that's when things go wrong.
yeah. You get complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably our strength because neither of us. There's been times when I've dipped off and Gary said, "Hey, Dave,
Come on.
come on, what are you doing? Where have you been the last few months? Get your ass in to get it." And things like that. I just know there's a check there. He'll let me go for so long, and then he'll just give me the nudge in the right way. You know what I mean? So, and I think that makes a difference as well. You know what I mean? I think the mutual respect is good, and the honesty and the trust.
Yeah.
I think that's big. Speaking for myself, of course.
Yeah. And we get foot workout together,
Yeah, we do.
which is not always enjoyable with him, but
He's a fucking beast, isn't he?
yeah. Yeah. Well, he's Mr. Competitive, isn't he?
Oh,
He
yeah.
won't lose at anything.
He'll anything.
No.
Even
You
if we're
noticed
doing a
when
warm-up or
when
something.
we were doing
Yeah,
that
that game
all
thing.
thing,
Yeah, yeah.
he had to win
Yeah.
that. You work out, we'll do back session, at the end he puts like, or we do some chins, or in my case hangs, just hang from the bar, like a worm at the
How
end.
do you change that, Dave? Like, you've got this sort of like wanting to be the best mentality to not implement that into your business because obviously trying to be the best all the time is just going to fucking destroy you and just kind of sort of like doing your best every day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Whether to know the answer is a different thing. As an individual, I'm extremely competitive on whether it be a team or anything like that. But I'm also aware when it's negative sometimes.
If you try putting expectations on other people.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that. And I'm constantly reminded of that sometimes. Look, not everyone's like you.
Yeah.
Ease off. And that's a weakness that I've got, and I'm aware of it. I just struggle sometimes holding that competitive side back. You know, because I think what we've all got to realise is we're all different. And whereas I'm quite lucky, I'm quite disciplined in getting up, training, exercise, nutrition. I'm quite disciplined. I'm lucky. Not everyone's like that. And I need to get away from that. Well, why aren't you?
Why are you like that?
Why are you like that? Yeah. Well, and it's just a different mentality. And I think I've learned a lot of that from Gary because Gary's competitive but in different ways.
Yeah.
So it works well.
In what way, Gary?
I think I'm more... I want to see the best out of other people.
Yeah.
I'm very much, I think, like support and mentor, not so much more, but give people the tools to allow them to achieve to the best of their ability. That's what I like seeing.
And if you don't do it, what happens?
Get Dave to give them a kick up the arse. No, I suppose sit down with them and you know and find out what they want to do, what makes them tick, and just giving people the tools to like make sure they're happy at work. Work can be hard enough.
Yeah.
You know, if you're coming to work and you're not happy, that's
brutal.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be. So I want people to come into work or do whatever they're doing and be happy doing it and try and facilitate that. So if they need, you know, whatever they might need, resources, time, I like to think that's what I am good at, is giving them the time, the resources, the equipment, the support. You know, if that's, you know, we Dave said before, like a family, a team. If someone's struggling, hold your hand up, because there's loads of us here who can all help, and we are good at that as a team, don't we? You know, supporting.
Massive in business, that, innit?
Yeah.
Being that vulnerable with your staff and stuff that, you know, it's all right to, look, I'm not doing so good here.
Yeah. It is
I
like...
think Gary's my balance because I'm black and white, shall we say.
Yeah.
In a lot of
Straight to the point, mate.
Yeah. And it doesn't always go down well. But Gary's balance, like I might go on watch a course and speak to learners and come up with some feedback, and I might have some frustrations. I'll come up, start venting.
You've definitely got frustrations.
Yeah. Well, if you spoke to them about it, what can we do for them? And I'm like, Just give him a kick. And
Amazing.
Said, no.
Amazing.
What we need. So he balances me out really well.
Yeah.
And he can see when I'm getting to that point, and he'll say, look, have you tried this? Have you thought of that? So I think like we have 2 chairs outside, the mustard chairs, don't we?
Yeah.
And quite often just go and sit in there, and I'll say, you're fed up with this, and he'll go, well,
Just little fucking release.
yeah. And then he'll just say, well, have you thought it like this? And quite often I'll go, no, not really. And then he puts perspective in things for me.
Yeah, that perspective window where you're looking at one window and you're getting angry, frustrated, and look, here's another window, wait, look at this one, and it's
because you see
not too bad over here, is it?
Yeah. You see things out your own eyes, don't you? So when you've got a good business, like how you and Lee probably work together, you see things out of your own eyes.
Yeah.
So if you tell someone else, they're not seeing it from your eyes, they're seeing it from, they can look at it from a different...
More objective, because I know now, especially after the early years, there'll be things I want to go, right, and if I don't now, I'll say, guys, have a chat, I've got these frustrations, this is doing me head in, and he'll say, well, so it balances out, so rather than me going off and shouting and screaming, and it's balanced.
The old company that we worked, we worked at this old company, and I was looked after one area, Dave looked after another area, and sometimes with his abruptness, he'd go and say things, and then it'd be like, you have to clean up some of the mess after. But now, I suppose now, since we've worked together, we don't just make...
Dave, from your point of view, to actually implement that mindfulness side into your personality and your character? It's
been a hill for me to climb. I'm not saying it's not, and it is hard for me, because I'm afraid I can do it.
Yeah.
What are you messing them up for? I struggle with all the, I suppose I say, the fluffy side.
You don't do fluff. He doesn't do fluff.
And I know that's wrong, I know it's a weakness. I just struggle doing it.
Lee's like that though. Lee's exactly like that, when I'm like you.
Once I spoke with Gary, he puts perspective on it, and I can see, right, okay, I need to balance myself out, because it's me, that I can cause ructions just with frustration. Yeah, and the way you deliver things to people.
But it goes both ways, because I can be too
fluffy
sometimes, when he'll just say, just tell him.
Yeah.
And I sort of like find somewhere in the middle, so, yeah.
How have you got to be the way that you got to be, sort of mindfulness-wise, and being a bit more objective with your view and stuff? How have you come to be like that? Is that just you are as a person who works on that?
No, I think it's just me as a person. That's the way I am. I've always, like trying. Yeah, I always tried to like.
So here's one for
develop.
You then, Gary. How do you stop people taking advantage of that side of you? Is that when you go to Dave and you need to be more like Dave at that point, or? Because there's one string I struggle with it.
I suppose I have a line, and if I think someone's crossing it, that is one thing with me. If I think they've crossed it, I can bloody older.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I struggle then to let go, because I think if I've give you everything, I've opened up. Why have you pushed it too much?
Yeah.
And I think that I find that hard sometimes, but.
It's just getting boundaries, isn't it? Boundaries.
Yeah. I suppose it is, isn't it? Set the boundaries at the beginning when you're working with people.
Especially in business and stuff, because obviously, with your staff and stuff, you can actually have gaps open where they can come in and take a little bit more advantage of what you've actually given them in the first place. But that's not their fault. It's like, I just blame it on myself for not, aligning that boundary and saying what that boundary's there for.
Yeah.
So I just try to get better with it, and that's why, speaking to you two, I wondered, what your thoughts on the sort of boundary side when it comes to your staff and stuff.
I suppose the good thing is what we've got is one another.
Yeah.
Because he'll
good cop, bad cop stuff.
Yeah, probably good way of putting it, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, I do struggle with the directness. Even now in the office, I'll say something and I think, oh shit, I said that. Like that.
I remember the first time I met you. So I used to work in a different place than him. Same company, but like different buildings completely. And there was a management meeting, so the senior managers had their meeting. There was a management meeting. I called to this management meeting. We're all having a meeting, and I can't remember what was said, but there was a manager had said something. It was the first time I'd met him. He was a new member of staff, really. I've been there 2 or 3 years, and he said, listen, put your dummy back in, pick your dolly back up. And I thought, you can't say that in a management meeting. And I was like, tumbleweed across the floor, and I thought, shit, nobody's ever said anything like that before in a management meeting. And it was like, but he didn't do it, and he said, why don't we do it like this? Yeah. And then it just moved on. I thought, that was just like, just so direct. That must be, your background.
Yeah, possibly.
That's got to be your background work, because
I love that though. I think you should be able to be like that, not people take offence and be so soft about it. I mean, one of the girls started short. I don't think you met one of the designers. She had some chocolate on her desk, and Lee walked past. She went, "Oh, Lee, do you want some chocolate?" And he went, "Oh no, thank you." She went, "Oh, it's Bourneville." He goes, "I don't give a fuck who it is," and then just shoot each other. You know what I mean? And it's just like, he's so straight to the point and so dry with stuff. Like, sometimes you think, I don't think you should have said that.
No, I do that quite often.
So you don't as much now? No. Yeah, you have mellowed. You have mellowed over the years.
Yeah. Have you mellowed?
Yes.
Or do you think you've just you've opened your mind a little bit to be more mindful? Which is it? Or is it a bit of both?
I'd probably say I've opened my mind.
Yeah. Because it's hard from where you come from, mate, that military side, and doing the triathlon, you ain't got time to be, are you working or...
No, I do struggle with the modern way of life.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say I'm probably more mindful.
Yeah.
And I probably still have them values.
Yeah.
But I've now got the ability to realise that they're not always right, my values.
Yeah.
And to accept other people's values, and that's where the balance comes in.
Instilling your expectations on other people, mate, it's not fair, is it?
No.
The way you do things is like, there's a certain form of excellence that you sort of require from people, and that's not fair, that, is it?
No, it's not. It's realising that they're not me. And they've got strengths I haven't got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not trying to impose my way of doing things, because it's not always the right way.
Yeah.
I quite often think it is, but it's not.
Yeah, well, he's like that as well.
It's like the old Brian Clough quote that you said to me, isn't it? I love it. When Stuart Pearce come up to him to say, the players are thinking this, we need to do that, boss, we think next time. So he said, well, I listened to him, heard him out, and told him, that's fine, but he still did it my way. So it's my favourite quote. But don't quite get away with it these days.
Yeah, no, do you think? So what's next for FitAsylum? What's the main focus of what you're both doing now?
I suppose we've got obviously the funded side of it, and we're now trying to grow a commercial side of it where people want to just pay for it rather than take the government funding. So that's the growth side of it. And I think the side that I've always struggled with, the social media Gary pushes well, because it's not my strength at all. But I think those two things, whether you agree or not.
Yeah, I think there's a few arms, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the quality, continually improving the quality of what we do. So that's looking at the resources, the venues we use, the facilities, the staff continually being developed, CPD for the staff. So there's the quality side of what we deliver. It's continually improved that, and every year Dave does you want to see it, it's like that, quality improvement plan. He does a self-assessment report every year about where we are, where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, and how we're going to improve the weaknesses, the areas for improvement, and the strengths, how we're going to make them even better. And looking at them strengths and saying, why is that a strength? How can we use that and make one of these areas for improvement better? Yeah. So he does that, and then off the back of that, he does the quality improvement plan, the QIP, what says where all our improvement needs are, how we need to improve them.
Individually as well as a company, individually as well?
Yeah, we...
As a company, and then behind that is dates and who's going to be responsible for improving those. You've got the staff development plan, that's a...
Yeah.
But that all comes out of...
It's not just my views.
It's not.
It'll be a combination of feedback from who sent a questionnaire to all the staff. What do you think? Where do you think we are? What's the weaknesses, etc. We do it with the customers, with the learners, and they're doing it with FLN, they will do it with the employers as well, so we get feedback from every angle. And we also are accountable to a board, independent board.
Yeah.
So they challenge us on that plan. Well, where is it? Are you improving it? Is it working? Why isn't it working? Why is that not improving? So that's really good for us, isn't it? Have the independent board.
Yeah.
People that look at me and Gary independently. So it's just.
Are you doing your job?
Yeah. Are you doing your job? Are you doing it right? And I think that works as well. So
How do you know if you are improving or not on some things that are really hard to know if you're improving?
Quantify them.
Yeah.
It's, I suppose that quality improvement plan quantifies everything. You know, they're all the targets are smart.
Yeah.
And they're quantifiable. So it's not, well, I think we've improved
okay.
at this. So we make them quantifiable.
Right.
We make them smart. And Dave has that every month. He'll, right, where are we up to? We should be here. We're here. Why have we not got this done? This needs doing for this date to improve the quality. So that's the first thing that always happens every year, to continually improve what we're doing. So the learner experience is better.
Yeah.
And we listen, like Dave said, to learners, you know, people we work with, staff, and to continually improve. There's the social media thing, which is a big push, trying to show the impact of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then the third thing behind all that is a lot of our courses, like I said, 95% of students who come on our courses pay for them through a government loan. So we're looking at another avenue now where they can pay for them direct at a cheaper rate and do it themselves, and looking at different finance options, you know, working with some other finance companies who can finance it. So, because not everybody, some people want to pay for it, or they might want to pay for it over the course of a year instead of, so we're looking at some different finance and growing the courses away from government funding, if that makes sense. So I suppose for me, you've got the quality side of things, you've got the social media, and then increasing the commercial.
Yeah, the academy side of it really excites me. What you could potentially be doing within that academy.
Yeah. No, it's been going about 12 months, hasn't it? A bit of a slow burner, really. But they're continually improving and adding other.
Yeah, because really that's where you get the impact. Like you said, once you get a course, you get a certificate, and you've done an assessment, right? Cool. But then to actually create an impact on that person's life is they need to go through the academy side of it. Yeah. It's almost like if they don't go through it, it's like you need to be going through
the missing part of the jigsaw, haven't they?
Yeah, the fucking jigsaw, to be honest. That's just a piece, isn't it? What they've just done.
But it's not finished unless they've got that other side. And we talk about business.
It's a shame they don't do it the other way around, to be honest.
Do it at the front.
You do it at the front.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that might be a thing that we could look at doing in the future, trialing it. Doing open day. In fact, have we got an open day coming up? We've got
this year.
Yeah, we've got an open day coming up where I think we've got a lot of our ex-students all coming together, collaborating with some guest speakers there. But I think that's a lot about students who've already passed. It's probably not opened up to the general public. That might be a thing to do.
You should 1,000,000% open up to the general public.
Yeah. Because I suppose that how many people sit behind a keyboard and look at things and think, should I? And their hands are on the keys and they don't. Some people might think, I'll go along to that open day. Get to speak to not just the tutors, but the people who've been there and done it. Yeah. And get to speak to them, because the tutors are the tutors.
That's really 1,000,000%.
You want to be speaking to the person who was thinking about it. You want to be speaking to. They want to be speaking to someone who was them 12 months ago.
Yeah. What impact has it had on your life? That person tells you, "Bloody hell, I want some of that for myself."
So we perhaps need to see, Luke, come in here and just come away with ideas all the time.
Well, it's good, isn't it? That's what we're here for, aren't we? This is how we do it, don't we? We just got to keep talking. But it's like, I asked you at the beginning, like, what does FitAsylum do? And you said they do personal training courses. But to me, it's like we create impact on people's lives. Yeah. Nothing to do with personal training courses.
No.
Even though that's what you niche and that's what you do.
Yeah.
The big part of the FitAsylum brand is making impacts on people's lives. How do we do that? By telling stories.
Yeah.
So every maybe 5 posts we'll put a personal training course that we've got on.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow your the FitAsylum brand that we set up together, all of us, in the first place.
I think.
Yeah, the course is just.
The course is just like
part of the.
Listen, that's our products and service. We niche down on that, but we don't niche down on the brand. And there's so many beautiful sides to what we're talking about. Mental health. We're talking about men coming out and putting their hands up and saying, you know what, I'm not doing so good here.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, and like promoting that side as well.
No, I think you've had a big impact on us, Tim. I always remember the first time we met.
Thank you, mate.
And I come out, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, I'm just being open and honest here. And I said to Gary, I'm freaking motivated. I am fucking inspired now. And it gave me a mega lease of life.
Yeah.
It really did. And then when we see the branding, and I think you give us that impetus, that start point. And I think that is, for me, the biggest thing I've got from yourself. And don't get, everything else is fantastic, the branding and everything else, but you as a person and that, you know what I mean, that impetus. And
thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been massive for us. You know, coming down here that very first time back in 2017, meeting you and Lee, and having that meeting coming for a new logo and perhaps a redesign of a website, as that's not what we went away with. That's not what we went away with. And that first meeting, we come out and wow, you know, really excited. But we didn't know what we were excited about then. But when we come back and you introduced us to FitAsylum and what FitAsylum could be and what it could be about, come away from that, I thought, wow, it was like, you know, when you first start your business and you was like, whoa, it was like that again. It was that, I had that feeling like, come on, we can do this, let's go. You know, we're on it again with the, you know,
I can feel it coming back around.
Yeah,
I can feel it coming back around.
We had the photo shoot, we had the website done. We got to spend all day with you on, you know, down at in Liverpool when we did the photo shoot, and this, but you had an impact on the staff as well, you know, and stuff we'd said to them, like, because we'd mentioned when we come down singing about the website, and we'd mentioned about this, like, we didn't have to say workout with. What we need to really do is go and see the learners, and they didn't get it. They didn't. We'd sort of like planted the seed, but when they come away from the photo shoot and they spoke to you, like, that was right. I've got this great idea, and I'm thinking, I've been saying that for the last 4 weeks. Tim's bloody sports, and he's got it. It's good, but he's got it now, and he's off, and he's. In fact, they're doing a workout with somewhere today. I'm not sure where they are, but they're doing a workout with.
It's on social media. There they are.
Yeah, but that goes back to leaving them to do what they're passionate about. Because if they're passionate about it, they'll be good at it because they want to. And you know, Deck with his social media loves doing that side of things, doesn't he? So, you know, and he's improving all the time what he's doing with
he's
that.
amazing. I love him. I love Deck, mate, honestly. I love him. He's incredible. When he trained me, I was inspired. Yeah. That lad's inspiring.
Yeah. He knows the learners absolutely love him. Yeah. But he's infectious. Yeah. His enthusiasm for being a PT and what it can give to you. Yeah. How it can change your life.
Harry, he's our operations manager who's in charge of the teams. He's got a lot of credit to be given here, hasn't he? Because he's got the personality that's done this. Whereas I know when I used to run the team and I didn't have that skill set about letting people go. Hang on. Yeah. I didn't. He does.
Huge that, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huge. And he's got that skill set and he's had a massive impact on us. You know, it's him that's brought these people in. It's him that's got this team together.
I'm going to take credit for that, for my bad back. If I'd have not had a bad back and I'd not met it.
You're taking credit somewhere.
He is. He's been fantastic, Harry. But Harry, you know, that's his passion, is mentoring and developing people. And he's worked at that, and he's gone and done his, he's developed himself, hasn't he? And by developing himself, it's given him the skill set to be able to develop other people.
Yeah.
So
he got his masters in education, didn't he?
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up there, boys. Appreciate both of you.
No, thank you.
Thanks for inviting us down.
Love you both. You're amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Marner, what, you